I do that every single time. What's up, everybody? It's Greg Gray, Dope Living TV Live. The views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Man, I love it when I see people doing them. That's what we've been doing for the past couple of days, celebrating people, young entrepreneurs who are expressing themselves, doing their God-given gift, living their best life, all of that. And we continue today. My sister-in-law, what's up, Earl Henson? What's going on, buddy? Johnny Omega, Elder Haynes, congratulations to you, brother. Who else we got? A bunch of people already ready. So look, today we want to celebrate another person. Everything's good. Earl Henson, my brother from way back. All right. Always good, man. I'm checking you out, man. You stop doing the music though, man. Why don't you do the music, man? Don't stop. Keep that stuff going. Today, again, we are celebrating. And when I say celebrate, man, it doesn't mean we're having a party or anything. We're just giving everybody their props while they're here so that they can take it in and express themselves and tell you about what their journey was, so that maybe we can, those that aren't living their dreams, those that aren't living to their full potential, can have an example of what it takes and what to do and how to do it through the eyes of these people that come on. You know, yesterday we had Tree Drinks. My man's. I'm gonna start back. Just got a lot in-person gigs right now. But that's what's up, man. Just keep it going. We can't stop that. The music is what's changing lives right now. Okay. And I know when the pandemic was up, you were doing your thing, man, and people loved it. So, you know, pandemic is still here. So we need you back, okay? Make sure that happens. Do that for your brother right now, all right? Today, I got a inbox a couple of weeks ago about a gentleman's name is Dwayne Rancifer. He's a young man who they call him, Mr. Flip the Hood. And he's an author. He's an entrepreneur. He's into real estate. He's also into politics. This brother is just doing everything all the way around, and he's doing it his way. So he'll be on a little bit. He has a book that he's just published. He's had several businesses in East Chicago and the hometown, Gary, Indiana. And I'm going to ask him a couple of things about some of the things that are going on in the city of Gary, you know, since he's in that political arena. And he does a lot of Black development in East Chicago, Indiana, and doing a lot of positive things in the community. So we want to talk about that. Wow. And it's always good, again, like I said, to reach out and take some time, especially when you have platforms like this, to recognize people like Dwayne Rancifer, like my brother Earl Henson, you know, people that are doing great things and living their best lives and impacting other people's lives, making other people feel good about themselves and good about some of the things that they're doing. You know, we talked yesterday, again, with Tree Sweet Drinks, and I met this person last week, the family, I should say, and it was just an amazing vibe. And we want to do things to help each other, and they definitely have an opportunity to do some things. So we're going to definitely talk to them again. But today, you know, it's about Dwayne and some other people. And if you are someone who wants to express themselves, living their best life, want to talk about it, hit us up, Dope Living TV. We want to talk to everybody and celebrate everyone. And while we celebrate everyone, we want to throw some gems in there to make sure that you understand the journey that you're going on. And who better to tell people but the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jeff Rellifer. What's going on, brother?
Oh, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
It's all good, man. So blessed to have you on here, man. We're just talking about people. You know, we all got this God-given gift.
Mm-hmm.
we sometime, and I was telling someone today, when they know that they got this gift, they're doing it better than anybody else. You should always think that you do things better than anyone else. But when you don't do it and you're doing, like you get this regular job, nothing wrong with getting that regular job, but I think you put that big shield around yourself because, of the fear of getting out there. And I told him, I said, you never know if you can do it until you try. You want to elaborate on that?
Hey, that's true, man. You know what? Like you said, it is a lot of people who actually are sitting on greatness, man. And you can't be scared. That's the thing, we all have unique gifts and talents. Like I always say, I use myself as an example. You know what I mean? Because with life coaching, this was something I kind of just stumbled upon. You know what I mean? Just stumbled upon. I realized that it was something I do all the time, but to really be able to take it, be able to read people, and to transform people's lives by talking to them. You know what I mean? See, a lot of people don't have that, man. A lot of people don't really know what that is, to really be able to read people, you know what I mean, and really pay attention to fulfill a need or a want. But then on top of that, not to fulfill the need or want with your own interest, but their interest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that takes something to really sit down, listen to somebody, hone in, and make sure they're getting what they need and not what you need. You know what I mean?
And I think that's important, that the way that you said it, okay, and how you put the accent on what they need and what you need, because
Mm-hmm.
and we've discussed this before. When people come to someone like yourself,
Mm-hmm.
they want you to give them all the answers, all
Yep.
right? And if you don't give them all the answers, they say, well, you ain't this, you ain't that, okay? But it's not about you giving them the answers. It's about you taking from what they've talked about and them giving you the answers, right?
Exactly. Yep. And that's the big disconnect we have, man. You know, the thing is, everybody want to be saved.
Mm.
But what the thing is that people don't realize they got the answers within inside them to already be saved. People always want somebody to tell them what to do, but they tend to forget that, you already know what to do. It's already inside of you. You just didn't have the right person to pull it out of you. It's about pulling it out of you, as opposed to telling you, say, hey, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Because if I tell you what to do, you just follow an instruction.
Right.
Instruction. I can tell anybody that 2 + 2 is 4. But when you actually figure it out on your own and you come to that conclusion yourself, you take value, a sense of pride in it. And that is the big thing that people miss out on, that value and that sense of pride. As a life coach, if you can provide that value and sense of pride with people, you've done your job.
And I think, and so what you basically do is you just flip a switch. You're
Yep.
flipping the switch on what they already had. They
Yep.
just haven't. They just don't know.
Yeah, exactly. They just don't know. And that's why I love what I do, man. And that's why I wish more people could take heed to that as coaches. Because as a life coach, you have a lot of power. You have a lot of power here with what you do and how you do it. And you really in control of them receiving that light bulb moment, or them just saying, oh, okay, well, I ain't gonna be able to do nothing. You know, if you can lead people down that path to know that they're better than what they were before, then you've succeeded. You can't do that.
Let me tell you, I've talked to quite a few, and I'm going to throw the air quotes up, life coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Not for myself, but just to talk to them, to
Yeah.
fill them out, to find out what it was. Okay,
Yeah.
number one, and I'll tell you this: you were probably the most purest, in the purest form of the word, life coach. You were probably the most purest guy that I talked to, because you weren't about, I can do this and I can do that and I can do this for you, I can do that for you. You weren't about that.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I talk to you, every time we ask a question, you're saying, well, what do you think? Or what do you want to do? And there's a lot of guys out there. It's like, well, look, man, if you tell me this, man, I'll tell you what I can do. I can make sure that you got a different direction. I can make sure you, but you can't make sure that I'm going a different direction. Only thing you can do is listen to me. And, and this is just me not knowing exactly what a life coach is, but I'm thinking that, if I want to enhance my life or to change some things that, that I'm not comprehending in my life, as somebody that calls themselves, and I'm going to put them up again, those life coaches, they should be able to understand. And a lot of those guys that I've talked to did not do that. And we're blessed to have you on the show, man, because I know just your presence. And when you interject, you give people some gems that they didn't even know that they needed.
Oh, thanks, brother. It's all about using the gift, man. My thing is, whatever God has instilled in me, I know that, first of all, it's not about me. You know what I mean? My thing is, if you let God use the gift that's inside of you, everything else gonna come. You know what I mean? That's why for me, it's not about, especially like I had a meeting today when I was on the phone trying to get some info about this medical game. I'm trying to infiltrate the medical field a little bit and trying to see how I can bridge that gap between mental health and life coaching. It's a tough thing, but I was talking to a person today, and I said, it's about positioning, yo. You have to really position yourself with this thing. And if you are not about community with life coaching, it is very tough to position yourself and set yourself up in terms of credibility, because so many people are about money, money, money. But when you take the community route, see, a lot of life coaches, they don't like doing what I'm doing, because when you take the community route, it's a slower game. It's a slow process, So a lot of them, they be like, man, well, I need this to take off real quick. But now, when you on the boots, when you consider the boots on the ground, you know what I mean? And people are looking to you for that advice or for that opinion, you know what I mean? That really you're not trying to provide, but you're trying to get them to see on their own that it's their own decision. Yo, that's a lot of responsibility.
It's a hell of a lot of responsibility.
And you have to be very careful as a life coach not to abuse that, because if you abuse it, people can tell. People can tell when you abuse it or you're trying to use them or get one over on them. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing right there, And I think a lot of people don't understand that, when you reach out to people to try to and tell them your issues, your stories, and trying to pull something out of yourself, a lot of these guys will take your money and use you, just for that, and get you to feeling a certain type of way, but they've really done nothing.
Exactly. Yep. And that's what sucks. It's sad to say that with a lot of business coaching, you go that route. You go that route with a lot of business coaching, because so many people jump in business coaching and they really don't know. Like I like to focus on, like we'll talk about positioning yourself. You know what I mean? Making sure that you send credibility to yourself and you're part of different avenues and channels that are still in alignment with what you're doing, but they don't lose credibility with your success. And some people, like I said, they be so focused on the money, money, money that they tend to forget about that part, yo. Because if you lined up with people who are in alignment with what you're doing, yo, people gonna really take notice of what you know, your expertise, and what you have to offer in terms, like how you are with the conversation I bring to the table. You know what I mean? If you set it up that way, you'll win every time.
Absolutely. Hey, let's everybody say what's up to Marcella Amos.
Hey,
hello. Hey.
What's going on, Marcella?
Nada.
Cool Spanish speaking person.
What are we doing today?
We speak Spanish right now. Nada.
No entiendo.
Me neither.
On stars, that's all I know.
Hey man, Taco Bell, I'm good. But still, we were talking so far, about the overall set of the day today and yesterday was just celebrating people, celebrating those who are doing great things. But I wanted to also give, as I do when we have the moment, we've been so mired with everybody coming on the show and talking. But we got a life coach on here. All right, we need to utilize the fact that he's here. And if we can get a moment, if I can get a clarity moment with him, we're gonna get it. We're gonna take it. Now the guest is saying that they can't open it. I don't know why, but it's workable. But yeah, that's what we were talking about, Marcella. And
Okay.
we were just talking about how and I'll put the quotes again, air quotes, life coaches. I've talked to quite a few who profess to be life coaches, but it just didn't strike me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I don't know. I'm a little partial to family. You know what I mean? And before Jeff came on, we didn't know who Jeff was. All right, but talking, and as he talked to the people and told them exactly not what they wanted to hear, but what they themselves, inside of themselves, needed to hear.
Yeah, correct.
It's an amazing thing.
It is. And you have to be careful, just period, when people like to give themselves titles.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to listen and just watch. Because you can just go online and get a certificate and give yourself a title and
Right.
put out a shingle or whatever. So I like Jeff. He's doing what he says he's supposed to be doing. And I have talked to other life coaches, and it's like, where did, who told you you're a life coach?
Yeah. So you went a little bit farther. I didn't ask him who told him that. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna holler at you.
I'm blunt. I'm just out. It's just me. I'm very blunt at times.
And that's the thing, you gotta. It's crazy because the Bible always say, to test the spirits. You know what I mean? And
Spirits.
I get tested a lot with this. People always say, how can one be a life coach if you don't know nothing about life? I say you missing the point. You truly miss the point if you have to ask a life coach that question. People my age, and they say, well, you're only 31. And I say, well, if you ask the right questions, you can get to where you need to go with people. You have to know how to treat people. You have to listen. Listening is very key when it comes to this. Listening is very key. If you can't listen to what people are telling you in the direction that they're trying to go, you might as well hang it up, man. Now,
Listening is you made a good point about listening, whether you're a life coach or not. Just sitting down, being still and being quiet and just listening, you learn a lot about people. Just that's a good point right there, just to listen, whether you're a life coach or not. You learn a lot about people, and which is funny because when you have these people out here giving themselves titles and then you start talking to them, you realize, what type of life coach are you?
And see,
You're really not.
Anybody can grab hold of a title and put it out there. I'm throwing that out, and a lot of people can. And I think we kind of discussed this earlier. I'm not naming names, but a lot of people can talk the talk. All right, and they can walk the walk, but once they mess that walk up, once they stumble and they're called out, okay. And this is the arrogance of some people, and you continue to call yourself whatever you call yourself.
Yeah.
Now you're misleading. Now you're not using the gift that God gave you. You're misleading.
And that's dangerous because you can hurt people in that manner.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you start hurting people, and if they're already hurt and going through, you can make it worse.
Exactly. I've talked to some people where I've been told that, hey man, you got to use certain people or a group of people to your advantage. You know what I mean? And I'd just be listening. You know what I mean? And I'd just be like, I don't understand how you could use a certain group of people, or just that's hard for me to grasp, because I'm like, listen, like you said, It's about the gift that God gave you.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, if God gave you your gift, you don't have to reach a certain demographic of people. You'll end up reaching all people. You know, you don't have to limit yourself. And that's the thing. A lot of times coaches will be like, well, you have to find your niche. You have to find your niche. I can't tell you how much flack I've gotten from a lot of people because I don't have a specific niche. And it'll be like, well, Jeff, you spread yourself too thin. Nah, because that's not how that works. Because when you're a life coach, you have to be relatable to people.
Period. Yes.
Be relatable to people. If you can't be relatable to people and meet them at the level that they at, come on now. You know, it's not a, I don't want to say it's a tough thing to do, but once again, if you don't listen, if you don't really pay attention to the need of someone, asking the right questions, like I said, you can hang it up, man. It'd be tough to reach that person's soul.
And if you just don't know and you can't help them, then that's when you refer them to someone else that you know that can help them. But you have a lot of people out there, and that's just not with life coaches. That's when you go into ministry and different things like that.
Oh,
You have a lot of people that are so busy trying to be more than what they really are. And so they're going to help, but they really hinder and harm the people.
But you gotta be honest. I'm sorry for cutting you off. You gotta be
Well, that's
honest.
okay.
If you can't help, you can't help. Okay, it's
Right.
cool with that. I can respect you more if you tell me the truth that you can't. Okay.
I just don't know.
Yeah, and you don't know. You don't have the answer right now.
Yeah.
Right? But you know, and this is what I think is what's good about Jeff, because Jeff does that. If you don't know, he don't know. Okay, but he'll ask the question. Well, you know, I don't know. So how are we going to get through this little block right here? You know, what do you need for me to try to get through this block? What do you need me to do? All right, because as we talked with Jeff when he first came here, okay, he ain't Miss Cleo, okay.
Yes, thank you.
He not to call me now, all right, but he's saying, okay, well, what you know, who are you? You know, I can't help you. You know, let's relax. Who are you? You got to be able to put a person at ease with the conversation.
Yeah.
And then that will give them the freedom to speak to you more, so that you can actually say the word, because it's not a magic wand that you wave. Okay, it's a conversation that you have to have.
Yep. And with that being said, man, is that once again, people have to realize that when you create that safe space, and see, you can do this with kids. Kids are a little tough. With me coaching the girls on Saturdays, that's what I do about. Kids are a little tough because, especially kids that have been in the system or had broken and bad relationships, because you have to win their trust and you have to be consistent.
Correct.
Very consistent with kids, and if they sense a little bit of inconsistency, what they'll do is they'll start to become closed off to you, or if you
defiant, they'll become defiant.
Yep.
When I worked with a social service agency, I dealt with that, and they were majority of the kids were in the system, and that's something that I found out. Thank God, I was told that I am very easy to talk to.
Oh,
and I have a lot of
talk to on there, okay? Because you said you was very easy, okay? I was
to talk to,
collect my coins and see what's
and
up.
make me come through this screen and cut you. That's what you're geared to do, and make me cut you. Oh, but they would say I'm very easy to talk to, and so a lot of children would come to me, and even when I worked at the high school, I would have some of the security guards and things here come talk to this person, and I'm like, wait, what? Because I'm not really trained in that. But I have a heart for people. I have a heart for children. And I would realize sometime when you're trying to talk to the kids, they're not ready to open up. Exactly. So you just have to find just something maybe in common or something just off the wall to talk to until they gain your trust. And then when you see them again, engage them in conversation, and till finally then they're like, because they're going to watch you first. They might open up a little bit, but then they're going to watch you to see if you're the person that people are saying you are, and if they can really trust you. And you have to really, and what do I have to say, treasure that trust. Don't take them for advantage, because a lot of these kids in the system, they've gone through horrendous things. They've been from home to home. They've been around, and this is also for adults.
Mhm.
Been around people that you thought you can trust, like a lot of kids in the system. Let's go Child Protective Services. Someone might have called Child Protective Services to protect them,
Okay.
but they were sent right back into the fire.
Mhm.
And that's terrible. That's a terrible feeling.
Eh,
But
I know, I know.
I want to hear the story. We want to hear the
Hmm.
story. We get back
That's
to
okay.
it. But let's while he got his chair turned, we want to welcome our guest, Mr. Dwayne Rancifer. He's I guess we can call him a jack of all trades. He's into the real estate, flipping houses. Let's see, what else does he do? He's an
Scholarships.
author. What else does he do? I think he juggle. I think he like build houses. I think he like what? I think he's an actor. I think he got an R&B record out too. I think he got a lot of stuff going on. But we're gonna find out. Okay, everybody, say what's up to Mr. Dwayne Rancifer.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
Great. How about yourself, man?
Good,
Great
good.
introduction, man. Was second to none. I appreciate that.
What's going on, brother?
Yeah, I appreciate that definitely.
Man, you know what? I seen you before. I think I seen
Hey,
you.
when I seen you, I'm like, what do I know Greg from? I'm like, I just said the same exact thing. Definitely.
I definitely say. I think you might know a couple of people I know. I don't know if you know Ben Cherry, Ben call himself Ben Jammin. All right, but I think I remember you back in the day when I was doing my 925 music video show.
Right.
I remember you though because you was doing something back then too, man. But anyway, regardless of that's the past, it's the present. Right. Welcome to the show, brother.
Man, thank you. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate that. Definitely an honor to be a part of it.
So they call you Mr. Flip the Hood.
Yeah, you know what? I came up with that name, man. I definitely didn't want it to be a negative, looked at as a negative connotation, but more so a positive thing. A lot of the properties I try to, in my community, our community, I just pretty much take, in most cases, a lot of the properties that's some of the worst houses in my community and flip them to some of the best looking houses in our community. So that was, and that was my thing. Obviously I grew up in East Chicago, born and raised in East Chicago on Guthrie Street. So, I'm quote unquote from the hood, but, never lost focus of that and just wanted to change my community in a positive way and give the kids, of the next generation something to look up to and just know that it's, they have other options other than, being an athlete or a rapper or whatever to accomplish some great things because just being an entrepreneur has allowed me to do a lot of positive things, man. Not only in my community but how I provide for my family, the freedom it allows me to do. It just gives me a unlimited amount of opportunity. So yeah, that's what it's all about, man.
That's what's up. You mentioned about giving kids a different outlook on things to do. Okay, everybody wants to be, when you go to school, and we said this a long time ago when we started doing this show, but I want to reiterate it now. Everybody wants to, when you go to these schools and they say, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? Okay, what are the main ones that they say? I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a police officer. I want to be a fireman. Okay, but there's other things that you can do outside of those regular occupations.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I go back to different schools, and I do, I talk and with a lot of the kids, high school kids, more specifically. But in talking to them, I let them know the average salary of a doctor is 175, of a lawyer is right around the same thing. But the average salary of an entrepreneur is limitless. You understand what I'm saying?
It
So
is.
Yes.
I try to let them know that, being an entrepreneur, yeah, it's going to come with a lot of ups and downs and, different things like that. But if you're committed to it and you stay fast and, definitely for me, keeping God first, I mean, there's no limit on what you could accomplish, not only financially, but again, I love it. Above all, I love the freedom that it provides. I don't miss nothing, when it comes to, my kids' events, so things like that. I mean, it's priceless. Being able to do everything. My daughter just turned, 16 last week. I was able to get her a car. My other daughter, I just got her a house this week. So just things like that, just being able to provide basically whatever you want to, and just again, I do so much to show the kids, man, being entrepreneur is the new thing, man. You don't have to necessarily have to work for somebody your whole life. And again, I did corporate America, for 12 years, nothing against it, but just giving them another outlook and another way of looking at things, because everybody is just not made to fit in that box of corporate America. So
that box, I've always said, and Marcy, I'm gonna give it to you in a second. I've always said, why build a staircase in somebody else's house when you could build an elevator in your own? You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
I'm telling you, man, entrepreneurship is the key. All right, go ahead, Marcy.
Do you give workshops to teens just as far as flipping and with the homes, or just with financing and things like that to maybe teenagers?
I do. I haven't done nothing official in terms of workshops, but I do go to. I don't give them personally, but I've spoken at at many workshops, for the community, and that's what I love to do. That's my passion. Again, I can't reiterate that enough, but my passion is just showing them different things, especially when it comes to financing and understanding financing and understanding credit and different things of that nature. I think that's very important for our kids because, obviously we are, most people know, the Black and brown people are the largest consumers. And I think that that narrative definitely needs to change. And if that's what we're going to do, that's fine. But also understand, if we're consuming, that means someone else is benefiting off all of our consumption, right? So if we're buying, I just looked at, I'm in, Northwest Indiana. They're building a couple M&M beauty shops from the ground up in our community and gear. That just lets you know the amount of money that we're spending. If they can build this, I don't know, 20,000 square foot building ground up in our community. If they're building that lets you know that the money they're making off of us is endless, essentially. So, why can't we open up an M&M? If we're consuming those products, why we can't provide those products? So
that's a question.
Very good question.
That's a really good question because we as a people, we tend to go outside and don't support what's here, which is why people can come in here, because we're not supporting people that are in the hometown, as Patty had put it. We go outside, okay, and the people that are struggling to try to make it happen here, we look over them. Is it because in your eyes, Dwayne, is it because that they're used to going out that way?
I think personally, because I didn't try so many things, and and what I see off of it is a couple things. They feel as though if we support one another, somehow we're going to make that person rich. So I'm not going to go support him because all he go do to help him drive this or help him do that. But that's another reason why I try to display so much how much I'm giving back to my community, because I want you to. I was just telling somebody this a few minutes ago. You supporting me versus supporting someone, a foreigner. The difference is, one, that foreigner in most cases is not going to employ nobody from the community.
Come on.
That's number one. And number two, those dollars that you're spending is not getting put back into our community. In most cases, those dollars aren't even getting put back into our country because they're taking those dollars outside of our country that they're receiving here. So I mean, I can go on and talk.
I got to drink to that, man. I always put up a core comment of the day. Okay, core,
yeah,
perfectly balanced pH purified water. I got to put that up there, though, man. But
and go ahead.
Go
Something I've noticed as well. Sometimes when you have the small business in our community, because they can't compete with some of these other places that are outside of our community, so the prices sometimes can be a little bit higher.
And you're absolutely right on that. And actually, to piggyback off of that, Walmart, everybody, when Walmart started coming into our communities, the small business owner was like, we don't want a Walmart. We don't want a Walmart because they're going to put all the small businesses out of business. But what Walmart did was invested millions of dollars into the community and into these small businesses. And it all boiled down to one thing, what Walmart, would say. They said, what you can provide, we can't provide, which is customer service. They'll let you know you're not going to receive any customer service going into these big boxes. So people will spend a little extra just because of the service that you provide. Again, I'm in East Chicago. I have 7 different businesses in East Chicago.
I told y'all he was Jamaican.
7 different businesses. Yeah, I have a Boost Mobile. I have a real estate office. I have a bar. I have a tobacco, a smoke. I have a smoke shop. I have a daycare, a beauty barbershop. I mean, and I got a couple of different daycares. So, but yeah, I'm all about providing those services and the needs of my community because I understand that we're going to spend, and if we're going to spend, we need to provide those services and or products that we spending those dollars on.
Right.
And if we support one another, we can, and it might be, dreaming too big, but bringing back Black Wall Street, because we don't have to. In my opinion, we shouldn't have to go outside of our community for anything, as long as we have the right mindset. But I believe it first starts with the right mindset.
But you made a great point too. Salvador Valladolid said, "Great talk. I believe a carpentry school in East Chicago, Indiana, or any neighboring city would be such a great help for many young students who choose to follow a trade." And back in the day, these high schools had those trades and everything. Okay, you made a great point when you said that the customer service. All right, and I think that is so true, that if you give great customer service, people will come to you more often. Okay, but my thing is this: how do they know that you give great customer service? They're continuously
coming.
And
how do we get them there? Go ahead, Jeff.
And that's the thing, you know what I mean? Because like there are a lot of great businesses who offer great customer service. You know what I mean? So I want to ask you, man, like, how do you feel, and what do you feel is the most effective way for community to rally behind each other?
So I think, again, I was telling somebody the other day, unless people know about your product, you can have the best kept secret in the town. And one thing that I did when I started all my businesses, and what I believe contributed to my success, was absolutely every event in my community, I made sure I attend. And I wasn't looking for sales more so, but I was looking for, gaining that customer information. If it was, we had a Calumet Day, I was there. We had this particular day, I was there. And I was letting them know the services that I provide, and I was collecting their data to send, to put them on type of, what mailing list, email or text or whatever. But again, because that's how you do it. any community event, you there. If they having something at the library, even if you got a restaurant, you there and you letting them know, taste, doing taste tests. Anything in that community you need to be a part of, and that's going to get that community, let that community know and be aware that you're in that community and what you have to offer. Again, people believe if we build it, they will come.
They will come.
That is so far from the truth, because again, you can have the best absolutely the best food, the best product, the best service, but you can be the best kept secret out there. So the key is getting out there, getting in the community events, and let everybody know that you're there, and standing outside your doors, passing out flyers. The marketing is what I've learned has what sustained my businesses.
Okay.
I also own a chain of Boost Mobile stores. At one point I was at 33 stores. I own stores in different states, but once we got bought out by Dish, it became less profitable. So obviously, when Dish spent millions and probably billions of dollars to acquire Boost Mobile, obviously they had to change the strategy in terms of compensation to the dealers. So I liquidated some of my stores, and that's what I kind of transition more towards real estate. So in doing so, again, when I had all of those stores, the stores that I marketed the best, the stores, again, every store is in a different community. So every store I made sure I was there. I had, again, creating excitement around your store. Whether if you got a restaurant, have a tent outside your restaurant giving out samples.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that will absolutely, and obviously we know we're in a different time with COVID, and it's different now. So, you got to take that into consideration. But some of those things, those little things is what's going to change and make your business successful. And it's proven to over the course of, 10 years of owning several retail locations. So
let me ask you this. Since we're on the topic of marketing, old school marketing, new school marketing, which one do you think is best, or is there a difference?
I think you got to be. It all depends on the demographics of your audience, right? So if your audience is not on social media, whether you're kind of targeting an older generation or older age, then you want to use something that they're going to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you're targeting younger groups, you have to go with social media.
Right.
But I think I've literally spent hundreds of thousands of dollars into marketing, and I know for a fact that it works. I mean, literally, if I do a campaign on Facebook with, when I had my restaurant, if I did a campaign on Facebook, it was like a light switch. As soon as I hit that light switch to start that campaign, the customers literally came in. And again, every week I was sent. I showed somebody an example today. Every day, 2 times a day, I get a text, an email from Dick's Sporting Goods. They're emailing me every single day. So when I'm ready to make that purchase of athletic gear or whatever, I'm going to go shop at Dick's Sporting Goods. It doesn't cost nothing out these emails. So I think that is vital to ensure that you're constantly in these customers' face. So even if they're not ready to buy at that moment, when they're ready, if you're a restaurant, when they're ready to eat this specialty food, they come to you because of you're always on their mind. So, again, in my smoke shop, every day, what I do is I call customers who haven't been there in a week. Call them, hey, just checking in with you. I haven't seen you in a couple weeks, just seeing what's going on. every week I'm sending out text messages. Just here, we here for your tobacco, and it works. I mean, it's very effective. And again, every
Marketing.
day I'm outside. I have my staff outside catching people that's walking past, uh, and it's effective. So again, don't. The biggest thing I say, don't think you build it, they'll come, because they will not. You
Will
have to
not.
be there and bring them in.
Absolutely. Everybody say what's up to Patty.
How you doing, Patty?
Hey, everybody. Hey, Tuss. I like only hometown, your nickname. I got you.
Hey, and that, hey, I love, that's what I prefer, because that definitely let me know and keep things in perspective. So yeah.
Absolutely. And we got to thank Patty for inviting us to invite you. So we appreciate you, Patty. Thank you so much. There's a little echo, Patty.
Oh,
So
no
until you
problem. I was listening to previous shows. I always try to tune in when my husband tune in. He asked me this on his behalf. He don't want to miss y'all tonight, but he been working a lot of overtime, so he chilling. But I know, on previous shows, you all have been, I talked to you about this, Greg, have been, just mostly talking about Gary, which is understood because y'all from Gary. But I said, just kind of highlight, the region as a whole. And he was the first person that came to mind. I've been knowing him since he was a little bitty baby.
putting it out there,
we
Dwayne.
grew up together.
Yeah.
It's been a very long time. Everybody get older and lose touch, but I've always kept track of everything he's doing, and I'm so proud of him. I've been knowing him since he was like 2-3 years old. So yeah, I'm so proud of him, and he's doing a lot of great things for the hometown. And your book you just published and had the signing at the library.
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna we're gonna get to the book. All right, hold on, Patty. You
Okay.
jumping the gun.
I know, I'm just telling my man. That's all. That's my boy.
Dwayne, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have degrees, or did you?
Great question. So actually, right after high school, I decided I wanted to, I went to college, went to IUN. I was there basically 4.5 years, had 90-some credit hours, but I was working at Foot Locker at the time, corporate America, and I became extremely successful there. And I, in the process of working there, I kind of, again, I'm 21 years old, making $65,000, $70,000 as a general manager. So it was hard to kind of focus on school, right? So, and then after that, 29, I retired. Well, not retired. I left corporate America to do my own thing. So, and I stopped going to I was put on academic probation at IUN. So I'm like, you know what? Before they tell me I can't go no more, I'm just gonna stop going. Right.
What?
So I stopped. I stopped school, but I made a decision to go back to get my degree. Not that, and I actually just got my degree maybe 4 years ago. I graduated magna cum laude, 3.9 GPA. In my degree. So I did get my degree, but I say all that to say I got it more so just to, and it may sound crazy, but I just think degree is a piece of paper and it means absolutely nothing. Because I know people that have degrees and is in a lot of financial hardship because of their student loans, and they're not using that degree for what, even what they're going to school for. So to answer your question, yes, I have my degree. I graduated at the top of my class, but I got it more so to really for my kids, to be honest, just to show them daddy got they paid for. So
what advice would you give students that are struggling through school, high school? And we're always taught, get your education, you got to go to college, but college is not always for all students. So what advice would you give to those that are struggling through high school, and that pretty much won't make it in college.
And that's that's a great question. And I was one of those kids, right? In junior high, I was taking remedial classes. So I was one of those kids because I just didn't put the effort because I wasn't really motivated by school, growing up. So the advice I would do is kind of find your passion. Like going back to what the guy said earlier, we need to offer trades in these schools. Electrical, you can get your electrician, degree in I don't know how many months, and you're making $75 an hour or $100 an hour. That's what I would say. Go after, seek those trades. If you like using your hands, go to a HVAC class, take an HVAC class, take a carpentry class, a general carpentry. Those are the things that I would say. A mechanic, maybe work on cars. Those are the things that I would say we have to offer our kids an alternative to a 4-year degree, because it's definitely not fit for everyone. It's not a college is not a one size fit all.
So when you're talking about the electricians and the carpenters and all, they have unions. Don't you have to join those unions? How easy in our brown communities is it to get into these unions?
Well, do you have to join a union?
Right. That was my
great.
next question.
Great. I don't think that we necessarily have to join. I mean, I have, I employ a lot of carpenters
non-unionized
that are not, in unions.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I mean, and you can work on your own. Again, I have HVAC guys that I'm constantly using, and again, their labor on installing an HVAC unit take them a day and a half is $2,000 in labor. I mean, the price that the money that they'll make, definitely, and it's not all about the money, but it'll definitely, versus going to a 4-year degree. And again, when I did these studies, if you break it down to the people that actually go to school and actually get their degree, to the ones that get their degree and actually use the degree, go
work in that field.
In the field that they got their degree in is like 10%. So all of these degrees, I got a degree. I mean, it was so easy for me because I went and got my degree in business management, but that's what I've been doing for 20 years. So everything that I was doing
anyway,
it was like, it was a walk in the park. Getting my degree literally was a walk in the park because I've been living this life for 20 plus years. And again, I just did it for my kids, but what I've learned in the last 20 plus years definitely helped me get my degree. Obviously, I don't tell people to go find a job and then get their degree after, but I'm just saying, I say you got to find your passion first. And once you find your passion, allow your passion to just show you what you need to do.
But that's the way it happens, brother. And everybody say hello to Chris Lane.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
What's up, Chris?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I did the same thing basically, man. Went back after some time, and like you said, I got a bachelor's in business as well. It was easy because of the fact that as I was doing anyway, and I was learning the hard way by
the school a lot of it in your life, right?
Yeah. Right. So, but I did it because I thought my oldest brother, well, one of my brothers was just making loot all day long, just $200,000 a year and this and that. I said, well, look, I want to do that, so I'm gonna follow what he did. Come to find out, he didn't go to college to do that. He took the opportunity to came through. And I looked at him one day and I'm like, because I told him, I said, yeah, I'm good. I got my degree, blah, blah, this. So I started pulling that loot down like that. And he said, I didn't go to college. I took this course here, I took this course there, but I didn't go to college. And I was like, I did 4 years of this, man.
Nothing.
It happened like that. Come on. I'm talking about Melvin, Patty. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing, man, how the stories that a lot of entrepreneurs tell about how they got to be where they're at. And all of the stories are basically, they're different, but they're the same. You know what I mean? I see all kind of I see all kind of wallpaper right behind you, Dwayne. There's a lot of wallpaper behind you, bro.
Hey, you better say it.
Okay.
A lot of wallpaper back there, man. So I know that ain't you. That's not just people giving it to you. You know, you had to work for it.
That's not just people.
That's right.
I got to delay that. But Chris, you know, you were saying some things here. You know, people got to understand. We were talking about Black Wall Street, and people got to understand Black Wall Street to bring back Black Wall Street. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
I mean, Dwayne pretty much said it all. We got to learn how to keep the dollar inside of the community. Once we learn that, that's all Black Wall Street was recycling the dollars within that community and that vicinity that they were in. If you recycle the dollar within there, and that means you keep, because if you do the research, the black dollar stays in the community less than a day. You know what I'm saying? So once you understand how, like, I'm from Gary, you know what I'm saying, pretty much like everybody on here. When I was there, it was a lot of businesses that kept money in the community. Even though we did used to go out to South Lake Mall in Maryville, at that time it was called Maryville. But even though we used to go to South Lake Mall and all that, we still went to the village. We still had our clothing stores, shoe stores in the village. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know, Wayne, which Foot Locker you worked at, but if you worked at the one in the village, you probably know Daniel Metcalf. We call him Lex. Right. He used to work up in there. So
I worked. Yeah, I started at Foot Locker at the village. Crazy.
Look at you.
Did you?
I know the village. Like, I mean, that's literally where everything started. That's let me know what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So
exactly.
Yeah, village. And that's the thing, right? That's the thing. Here's the thing. If we have businesses in our community, so if somebody comes spend money at the Boost Mobile store, I employ somebody at the Boost Mobile store. They take their money and spend it at a clothing store that's black owned next door. They take their money and spend it at a restaurant that's black owned. Those dollars are staying within the community, which means those jobs are staying in the community. But what happens is when we get paid from wherever we get paid from, we taking those dollars to South Lake Mall. We're taking those dollars to, Indianapolis Boulevard. If you go in those stores, we're not working in those stores. Our kids, whether it's a clothing store, a restaurant, I go to, if I go to a Smoothie King, it's a 16, 17-year-old, white kid that's working in there. Nothing, not being racist, but the thing about it is we're not working. So our kids don't have that opportunity to have that employment. But if those jobs are in our community, if we have a smoothie store in our community, now we're employing people from our community. And that's how you do it. Again, if you look at, if you go to, in Chicago, if you go to Chinatown, you're not going to see any black-owned businesses in Chinatown. If you go to Little Mexico, you're not going to see no black-owned business in Little Mexico.
Village.
Right.
Little Village in Chicago.
The only place you're going to see people of other races own businesses is our community. That should let us know something. Like, we should own everything that we consume.
Well, I mean, it goes back to, and I've told this story before, when they tried to bring Little Africa to Detroit, and they did, you know what I'm saying? And they were trying to do what you were talking about, Dwayne. It's just, it's a, how can I put it? We have to get out the cultural mindset that we need other people to get where we need to be. That's one thing we have to do. We have all our resources inside our own community. We have to learn how to share knowledge without looking for something in return. Because it's stupid for me to have the knowledge and not give it to someone else.
Right.
Or to someone else. And a lot of our people want to charge for knowledge, which I'm not mad at. But, if you charge someone for knowledge, that means it has to be 100% guaranteed that it works.
Yeah.
Because if it don't work, that's what they come to look for. They come to look for the person they paid for their knowledge, or whatever you were charging for. So, and like we were talking about back in the day, like we used to go to South Lake Mall. But the only reason we went to South Lake Mall is because the Lark
We
closed
ain't had
down.
no
The Lark
options.
Cruise,
Yeah. Right.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like when we used to go get our outfits for
From
Fourth of
Lark
July
1 and
weekend,
Lark 2.
yeah, the Lark too. To get our outfits from. You know what I'm
So
saying?
y'all
We used
talking
to
about
go.
South Lake Mall? That's down the street from me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, South
Dwayne,
Lake
what?
Mall, you gotta
2 minutes
hey,
from the house.
hey,
Hey,
Dwayne,
that's why
you gotta
that's why
remember
you
back in
that's
the
why
day,
you light
back
skin.
in the
You
day,
light
it was
skin.
a privilege.
whatever,
It
Greg.
was a privilege
Okay,
to go.
thank you, Patty.
Yeah, it was a privilege. It was a privilege to go to Pizza Hut, McDonald's. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We didn't go there on an everyday basis. It was a privilege
Right.
to do those things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we only really went to Pizza Hut if it was somebody's birthday or you got that little pan pizza for that book report.
Or
thing.
Shakey's. Remember Shakey's?
Right,
Shakey's was the
right.
bomb.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Right,
Dwayne over there looking at his
Celebration
watch.
Station. all
Dwayne,
that,
you
you know what I'm saying?
froze, baby. I don't know what happened.
No, it's not. He's looking
He
at
not
that
froze.
watch.
You're looking at
So,
that watch.
Dwayne, wasn't you like involved in some scholarships and stuff too?
You
Oh,
on mute,
yeah.
bro. You on mute.
Was he muted? You had some scholarship involvement for the city too, and oh, you
Can't hear
muted.
you.
We
Can't
can't
hear you.
Can't hear you.
They might have to log off and log back in.
Nope. I mean, we can read lists. But yeah, there you go.
He'll be back.
What Chris was saying?
No, it's just, man, we gotta, like I said earlier, we gotta learn Black Wall Street first to be able to bring it back. We gotta understand how we recycle the dollar and help open up other businesses within the Black Wall Street. And Black Wall Street wasn't just Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? We had Black Wall Street all over, East Coast,
Right.
Midwest. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? All over.
And the
It wasn't
beautiful
one
thing is, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off. I'm sorry. The beautiful thing is this pandemic has sprung up a lot more small Black businesses.
Mhm.
Well, you know the problem with that.
People had time to sit and marinate and think about what they really had a passion for. So it just exploded. It really has exploded. And I'm proud of us, you know, as a whole.
So,
for
you
that.
know, there's something when we talked earlier about
Hold
the
on, Mark.
customer service. Pardon me?
Hold on for a second. Jeff,
Let's talk about customer service, Miss Marcella.
Hold on,
It's
Jeff.
important. It's very important.
I was gonna say that even though we had a big Black business, the problem with that is that our mentality. See, we can have an influx of Black business going on, but the thing is, we're still separated. We're still not willing to come together and still share the wealth of what we all have to enhance the community.
Absolutely.
And
I agree.
a lot of us, we sat around, we said, all right, cool. We have the next big. But I always tell people the only way you can build it is that you have to literally have a heart for people and want to.
That's right. That's
the problem, we're so scared of people getting ahead. And since we're scared of people getting ahead of us, we start to say, okay, with you,
that monkey's in the barrel mentality, yeah. Absolutely.
But you know, this is the situation that we have to really look at. So the way Black Wall Street was created was when they built a business, when they took that money to help build another business, they still had ownership of the new business that was coming out. That's what circulated. So like if you've ever studied like the Chinese culture, when they come and build a Chinese shop, everybody in that family works in the shop.
Everybody, yeah.
And when they about to open up a new shop, before that family moves to the new shop, they bring another family in to take over that shop while they build a new one. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of culture and that's the type of resources we have to start building. Like
That's
we're
the
the
type of
first one.
unity we need. That's the type of unity. we
Yes.
need.
Yeah, because we're the type of people that we don't want to tell people because we don't want people to have the same business that we
Yeah.
have.
And I think that's crazy, Chris, because
But G,
But it's
G,
true.
but if you have ownership in a new business that's coming, there's no competition.
true.
And that's funny. What I wanted to do, and again, I be thinking all over the place. I wanted
He
to
did.
start like a hood Shark Tank. And what it was, different people within that community come together and invest in other businesses and have that
Yes.
ownership that Chris
Like
was talking
Coach Jeff.
about.
Hey,
So I
Dwayne,
definitely agree with
Yeah.
that.
right?
So we're gonna do
That's
that.
a
We're
great
gonna do
idea.
that, Tony.
We
We're
should
gonna
do
do that,
that.
Chris. We're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Everybody that's on here right now, let's develop that.
Yeah.
Okay, I can
I'm
film it.
down.
You know, I started to
Like,
suggest that
idea.
yesterday with the family we were talking with yesterday, because that's what was going through my mind. This is like Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So let
family
me
we talked
let me
Yeah.
give y'all the blueprint of what we do out here. So what
Hey,
we're
Jim.
doing, where we're doing the club at, it's in a storefront. So it's like a commercial storefront that's empty pretty much. So what we do is we have the money to help businesses open up whatever business they want to open up. You know what I'm saying? We put up the money. If you have money to put up, we go half up with you to put the money up to start whatever business you want to start. But we have ownership in that business. You know what I'm saying? It's not us trying to come in and tell you how to do. We don't want to know what you do as long as you're making money. Help you pay back the money
And it's
that
legal.
we invested into you and continue the business moving forward. And that's something that can be done in every inner city community.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because you have a lot of people, like Dwayne said, like Marcella said, like everybody said, that has the financial resources. It's just the plan has to be together. You can't go to someone with just it up here.
Exactly.
If you can't put it down on paper, hire someone that can help you put it down on paper so you can make someone else understand it. Because a business plan, a P&L, a 10-year P&L at that, you know what I'm saying? 5 to 10 year P&L at that helps you out a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because a person that has money understands money. You don't have to sell a person with money by talking. You know what I'm saying? You have to know what you're talking about for one, but you don't have to sell them. If the business plan speaks for itself, it speaks for itself.
Y'all better keep throwing these gems out, okay? And if y'all not taking it out there, man, again, I said if you're going into the pandemic, you're coming out of the pandemic the same way that you came.
If you're gonna use my quote, use it correctly.
I'm gonna use it, bro. I'm getting ready to say it right now, okay? If you go out of the pandemic the same way, hey man, fuck it, man. I don't know. If you
come out of the pandemic the same way you went into it, you wasted a whole year and a half.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, brother.
So if you come out of the pandemic the same way
you went into it,
something
you
wrong.
wasted a year and a half.
Wayne, get off of that watch. It's something wrong. we
have to take that watch from him.
We got you for a little bit more, man. Come on, because this conversation has to be had, okay?
Yeah.
It has to be had.
But you know what? Though?
I ain't even got that kind of watch, but hold on.
The
All right. It's go.
The conversations are had. It's going to take moving forward with a plan to implement all of the things that we've been talking about. You know, somebody or a group of people coming together and implementing, because once people see that it's effective and it works, you'll get people, then that's when you're going to get the buy-in.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are going to be naysayers. Oh, you know what? I don't know. You see how they did Black Wall Street and all that. But when they see that it actually works and they see it for themselves, you'll get more people involved to help push it along.
Well, you know what the problem is that, and y'all remember when I brought this up when we was doing this last year, I was like, in each community, they should have a pot where, like, you invest in 10% of your wages into church. You should put that into your community. But
like
the problem is going to be the problem is going to be had, and what everybody's going to say is, who's going to be in control of this money?
Right. I was just going to say that. Yeah,
of course.
That's always the backlash.
And they have different,
because we have no trust. We have no serious trust in the community. It's a given, but at some point,
there's no trust
somebody
in
got
the
to
community,
mentally.
Patty.
if you're doing it yourself as a collective unit, you know what I'm saying? It's a different aspect.
You want to
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When everyone has to say so.
Like cool. Yeah.
So like an investment club.
And they have those investment clubs.
Right. Cool. Right.
One of which called Tribe Vest, where everybody, a group or whoever, all resources go into it. You don't even have to have an idea, but all of those resources go into the Tribe Vest, club, so to speak. But no one can just take out. Everyone has to sign off of it, sign on. So they have those platforms out there, and everybody will have an equal percentage based on their investment dollars. So I mean, it's definitely platforms.
But
out
you know
there
what?
now.
This is so similar to the way the credit unions are set up. Well, they're a little different now, but when I joined the Federal Credit Union, what was it, 30 years ago, they had
what?
In order for you to take money out of the credit union, you had to go before the committee. They had to do research. They had to research your credit history, if you're paying on time, and if it was going to benefit every person in the credit union.
Right.
And that's the way it was set up back when I first joined the credit union, which made it because I was able to, at one point I went in there and I was able to get 2 car loans back to back within less than a year, because I showed that I had the money, I had means, I had money invested in the credit union. I had been in the credit union for years. And so they gave me 2 car loans, and you can't go to a bank and get car loans.
And they didn't play. I was with the Federal Credit Union as well, and that's where I got all of my car loans from. And you did have to go before the committee.
You had to go before that committee, and they had to approve or deny.
Yeah, and this is pretty much and it's just a gem for people that is going out getting. It's better for you to go get approved for your car loan and then go look for the car instead of go get the car and then look for the car loan. You go get the car loan first, and then you go look for your car, because one, that helps your credit score. Because when you go to a car dealership, they're trying to get the best deal for you, but they're running your credit so many times, it's messing up your credit.
And that's why
you home buying.
And that's with housing. That's with anything. That's with anything.
Yeah, that's the way they're doing the home buying now. They won't even let you go view a home until you get that approval.
So look, I wanted to. I'm gonna deviate from this a little bit, and I want to get back into it. I want to ask Dwayne. Okay, Dwayne, you know the situation with that happened in Gary, where the guy from out of town, and Chris, you can blank out on that. He called that a long time ago. Everybody didn't listen though.
He checked out. He like, nope.
And he said, the Ivanhoe Projects area. No, he didn't say it like that, but the Ivanhoe Projects area was good. Build a company there, and I want to use the Genesis Center as our headquarters. Okay, and you see how that fell through, man. What do you think about that whole thing?
I think it was obviously it was a bad deal for the city, but you don't give nobody a deed without them making good on their financial responsibility, man. I don't know who was in charge of that deal, but man, they need they really need to be looked at.
Because he didn't read the fine print. You stupid, Greg. He got the glasses. He couldn't read the fine print. No, for real. But that was bad all the way around.
I just don't.
That's like a like we talking about cars. That's like you going to the credit union and they give you the money for the car loan, and then they say, okay, here's the title to the car, and we go hope you make good on the car loan. Like that don't even. It goes against every logical thinking that
but it would work for me. It would work for me. You want to give me
Yeah,
that?
I mean, you know,
your
it's
money.
a lot of people that we continue to do the same thing over and over again because that's how we were taught. You know what I'm saying? We don't know the little hidden gem secrets on how to keep our credit great. You know what I'm saying? We only do what we were taught to do. You know what I'm saying? We're taught to go get a credit card. You know what I'm saying? Right, but we're not taught to pay it back on time. If we pay little here, $20 here, $20 there, that's the way we were taught. We were raised.
Right. And one little gem for me with my credit cards is one, I don't buy no liabilities using my credit card.
Right.
And it's just that simple.
Right.
You know, I use credit cards to, you know, to finance deals and pay them off before, you know, it's due date, but I will not go and buy no designer anything or anything.
How about that?
With a credit card.
Dwayne, I call it high price slave clothing.
Man,
that's what I call it.
That's
and for the people in the back, Mr. Lane, for real.
You know, I used to do telemarketing years and years ago. And you know, I would get foreigners on the phone, and they would just go in on me about how Americans use plastic for money, and they just have a negative out about us as far as finances and about taking credit cards and using it the way that we use it. I mean, it was so many foreigners that would just go off on me about, you know, you guys don't manage your money. Why do you go out and buy things with plastic and you don't have the money? If you don't have the money, don't buy it. And it was just an eye opener because they don't use credit like that.
Absolutely.
But you know why they don't use credit like that?
Why?
If we go, if you're talking to someone that's Chinese, they basically own our MTNs, IOUs, and all that. Because the only thing an IOU is that they put an IOU out there, and the biggest bidder buys it, and China comes in and buy everything. So our money means nothing to them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to buying credit, they want us to use money because every dollar, like I told you, every dollar that is made, we got to give back too. That's why we're always in debt.
Right, but our economy is set up on the fact that we are high consumers. That's what our economy is based off of. So it needs for us to buy this because in it just the way our economy, and everybody like, why they don't teach finances in high school? Because that will totally, if we were responsible, that will impact our economy so much. They don't want us to be financially responsible because our economy is based on us being financially irresponsible.
Exactly. And that's the other thing. That's why when you see the people that's flashy and with all the cars and all the jewelry and all of that, they become who they are as popular wise is pretty much that same reason you're talking about right there, though. You know what I'm saying? The flashiest person, like I put it in the comments. Marketing is a part of everything that you do, business or not. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It helps in business, it helps in being a person because the myth and what people know about you is from how you market yourself as a person. You know what I'm saying? If you're a flashy person, you got money, that's what they gonna know you. Oh, that's Greg. He got all the money. You know what I'm saying?
It's you, dude.
Hey,
you become an easy target.
Yeah, and you know what?
Oh, we can put it all on Dwayne now.
Always throw it on me, bro.
We put it all on Dwayne now.
But
he got all that wallpaper in the back. We know he got that money.
No bad.
If you pay attention to marketing, you see who they're marketing to.
Oh yeah,
they're marketing to Black people. Everything that they market is to Black people, whether it's cars, homes. It doesn't matter what it is. They're taking the music and they put the Black music in there. They're putting the Black people in the commercials. The expensive cars. What do you see in the commercials?
In these commercials lately.
we're the ones who's going to go out and spend it, whether we have it or not.
And
the reason
like
for
you
that
said,
is
They
they're
know our
trying to.
mentality.
Pardon me?
that all, G. They
One
are
at a time,
the
one at a time, one at a time.
consumers. Absolutely.
Yeah, that goes back to what I said that I posted before in here. Is that once we
Sorry.
understand our spending power as a culture, everything
Mm-hmm.
will change for us.
Mhm.
Until we get to that point, it's not going to change for us. Because the only thing we're going to do is go take our money and spend it with the other
Right.
people.
Right. But let's go back to what Patty said earlier. Patty said, we don't trust each other enough to invest in ourselves, in our own
No.
people.
And
But
that's
guess what?
the
We
truth.
trust
Yep.
other races enough to go out and make them rich. We
Well,
trust
but
them enough to go out and
Because it's
put
been
money to
conditioned
build
to
in our
us
own
for so many
communities.
years.
well, you
It's
know,
been conditioned to us for so many years. We don't know. A
Exactly.
lot of us, I'm not gonna say we, because I'm not including me, but a
Right.
lot of us don't know anything else. You know
it's
what I
the
mean?
program.
So I mean, like, what other direction can? Right? It's we gotta
You've been programmed.
deprogram it.
Exactly.
Right, because
Mhm.
we don't go to other businesses trying to get the homie hookup.
Right.
That
Well,
part.
you
Wait,
other
you see, you open up
Listen,
a Pandora's box. That's something.
I mean, that's true, Dwayne. You know.
Man,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
you're not supporting me if you're asking for a discount.
Exactly.
You're not supporting me if you're asking for a discount because you're not gonna go anywhere else and ask for that discount. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And another thing is what we do as a community, we expect perfection when it comes to Black businesses. If we go into a Black business and it's not the best experience we've ever had in our life, we're going to go on Facebook or go wherever and blast. That's why I don't shop Black businesses now, because but we'll go. How many times we done been
Walmart
to
can
a
do you in.
McDonald's
Hey,
and anywhere
Dwayne,
else, or
Let me
even a
raise
5-star
my
restaurant,
hand.
and the service
It's
wasn't great.
Hey,
We
look,
just okay,
how
no
many
problem.
times
We
have
still
you
go
seen
back
video?
and patronize them. But
Yep.
if we go in, we look for a reason not to patronize a Black
Yeah.
business. So
Yep.
if we
And
come,
you know, when I've been in a Black business and I've gotten poor service, what I do, because I did work retail back in the 70s, and what I'll do is pull the person to the side. I'm like, look, hey, let me just tell you this. I'm gonna come back, but this is what happened, and this is what is not cool. But
Right.
I'm gonna support you because you are a Black business. But this is something that you're going to need to change. And I know what I'm talking about when it comes to retail. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to customer service. So I'm just putting a little bug in your ear.
absolutely.
And sometimes I'll go to, ask for the owner or something to that effect, so I can talk to, and, it could be just training. Then some of us are just out there and just think it's cute, to be all fabulous. I'm going to put it like that. And that's not cute. And that, I'll come back to try to support you. Other people won't.
Right. I mean,
Just
and
like
look
you
at
said.
it like this. How many times have you seen on social media? That's why I don't support my Latino brothers now. That's why I don't support my Chinese. They not gonna put that. But I see it all the time. That's why you can't support Black business now. See you.
And that's not all Black businesses and you have some that are mediocre. You have some are just straight funky that, they shouldn't be in business. And, for something like that, you don't need to patronize them. But you have a lot of them that are out here trying. They're new. They're trying to learn. And, maybe if you just say, hey, this right here is just.
They're overshadowed by the ones that aren't, doing it. Well, hey, Jeff has to go. Okay, Jeff, you got one last word you want to say to anybody here? Dwayne?
Hey, Dwayne, I want to tell you, man, brother, I love your ideas. I like what you're doing out here.
Thank you, brother.
Stuff set up for people, and keep doing what you're doing, brother. Don't stop. Keep moving. But I have to tell you that you already get it.
Hey, look at the
Thank
wallpaper.
you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Said wallpaper.
Look at the wallpaper.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gotta make
The
moves.
mosaic on the wall. Look at it. All right, Jeff, hey, we appreciate you, brother. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace out.
Bye, Jeff.
But it's absolutely true, man, that and Dwayne said this earlier, man. the way that you treat people, the customer service is going to get you back. Okay. But, you know, we haven't even talked about your book. I know we're all off and we got a few more minutes. So let's talk about your damn book.
My book is just, you know, me and co-author Sadon Long, who is from Gary.
Must not like it.
Maybe not.
You must not like it.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So me and co-author Sadon Long, who is also from Gary, I came to him about a couple months ago, about a year ago, and told him my interest in writing a book and wanted to get my story out there. And, you know, again, I've been an entrepreneur literally since grammar school. I was, you know, in the second, third grade, buying games from friends, selling them to other friends. I didn't know that was, you know, obviously years later it turned into GameStop, but, you know, doing that, I just was always an entrepreneur. I was a barber growing up, cutting hair in my grandmother's basement, selling candy in school. So I was an entrepreneur from day one. And I've always wanted to get that story out, you know. So, you know, I wrote the book. You know, obviously it's a lot of life lessons from me growing up, but there's also some gems in there and some knowledge on, you know, starting a side hustle, what it takes. And I think, you know, the feedback that I've received from the book has been extremely positive. Everybody who got it was like, man, this book has really helped me out. It motivated me. It inspired me. So, I mean, I've been getting a lot of positive feedback, man. And it's just, if I can just help somebody, if that book can just help somebody get started or keep their dream alive as an entrepreneur, man, I know I've accomplished what I've set out to. And that's what it's all about.
That's what's up. Gina, go ahead on and give him the prize already, okay? Gina has the Distinguished Authors Guild. It's a show. It's an award show, okay? Just celebrating authors. Just go ahead and give him that room. He got room.
That's what. Yeah. Distinguished Authors Guild, it is a literary award show that honors authors for their hard work. It's something that this is our second year, and there's 10 categories, and there's 3 nominees for each category. And out of those 30 books, each category has 1 award-winning book. Only 1.
Okay.
And those authors receive an award with their name on it. We have a DAG bag that we gift with a DAG T-shirt, a DAG mask, and gift cards. Awesome. This year we have a VIP concert. It's a gala and an award show. VIP concert this year is hosted by comedian Miss Arkansas, and we have performing Barbados artist Ruby Tech. So it's just a fun-filled day, and it's all about the authors. It's everything is centered around the authors, and one thing I take pride in is that we do give scholarships to creative writing college freshmen. So the proceeds from the tickets goes, a portion of the proceeds goes to those scholarships. So we're asking everyone to support, get your ticket. You can get it at Eventbrite on under Distinguished Authors Guild Literary Award Show. There's you can do the VIP, which includes the VIP and the award show, or you can just do the award show. But we just want to give them that.
When is it?
November 11th.
I just wanted you to give him the award already. Good that you gave us the spill. I mean,
well, you know what? We have readers. Marcy is one of our readers. We have the readers who have they read the books. There's a certain criteria that they're looking for when they're reading the books, and then they give us the feedback on, you know, what they feel as far as that criteria.
Well, I got to get y'all my book, and whatever we need to do to get me a part of that. I would love to be a part of that.
What's going on, Mike Phillips? What's going on, Mike Phillips?
No, that's right.
All you got to do is just send you the thing. But you know what? Before we roll out of here, which is not time yet, but I know you kind of busy because, and I know because I'm feeling naked without my watch. I'm just going. I'm feeling naked, but we didn't really get a chance to talk about your journey, your obstacles and things of that nature. So if you could kind of talk about that a little bit, because just like with Chris, and Chris is my DopelivenTV live partner. We had to rebuild basically this platform, and all the while, because Chris is actually, and yeah, Chris, you might as well pop off. Chris is he's in the process of doing an NBA franchise. They're opening up the expansion team. So Chris is actually building the Las Vegas Stars, right?
That's something Dwayne wants to do too. I
What?
read that. Something Dwayne wants to do. I read that
What's
in
that?
your book.
Talk about it. What's that?
Okay, with the research, Miss Marcella.
No, I mean that.
Okay,
I want to. Obviously, one day, I don't know how soon, but I put it out there. I want to be part of some type of major league franchise in terms of acquiring a franchise. That's a goal of mine, and again, I think anything is possible. Just speaking on Greg, you asked about my journey. I believe I'm at a point where I beat all odds. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in East Chicago,
Right.
Born and raised on Guthrie Street in the 90s. I don't know if you're familiar. I mean, it was just to say I'm here now today is a major accomplishment. So
it's a blessing.
Doing that, I mean, I've overcome again obstacle in terms of reading disabilities to graduating magna cum laude. So and everything in between. I was homeless. I've lost everything at one point. Literally had to move in with my soon to be wife. Lost everything I had, and thought it was all over. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, how can I come back? Not only did I lose everything, but I owe so many people that believed in me. So I didn't see no light at the end of the tunnel. You hear, man, it's light at the end of the tunnel. Man, I seen completely darkness at the end of the tunnel. I lost again. I was homeless. So I came back from that to where I'm at today, man. And it wasn't an easy journey, but I kind of used the Jay-Z song. Please allow me to reintroduce myself. You know what I'm saying? And I had to start all the way over. You know what I'm saying? And I started over. I was doing one thing in real estate, and I lost everything. And then it was, I reintroduced myself, and I started doing retail, and that's how I came to acquire the Boost Mobile franchises. So, man, I started all over, and I think until you've lost everything and you start all over, you have a huge appreciation for everything. Not to say that I didn't at the beginning, but I'm extremely humble now because I know God can at any point, no matter what you've acquired, can be taken from you. And again, I use the the Job analogy. Man, I'm like, what else can I lose? But he gave me everything back tenfold. So I was able to, through hard work and everything I was able to acquire and to do and accomplish hundredfold actually of what I did the first time. And again, learning from what I did the first time. And, so my journey wasn't an easy journey. And again, that's why I like to tell my story to the kids. I mean, don't think because you're not the smartest one in the class that you can't accomplish things in life. Because I definitely wasn't the smartest one, wasn't close to it. Because I just didn't put in the work because I wasn't just motivated by school. Not because I wasn't necessarily smart. I just wasn't motivated. Actually, I was always excelled in math courses because numbers always excited me. So I was, top of my class in all the math courses, but everything else, I just wasn't passionate about. But man, my journey is from started from the bottom. Now we here type thing. So
That's a
yeah.
testimony, brother.
Rancifer.
Testimony that needs to be heard. Okay, and I'm glad you did put that out here on WTV Live. All right, and again, I know basically the background basically of everybody that's on here, and it's a struggle. And again, you looking down when stuff like that happens to you, instead of looking up and saying, "Okay, I can't get no lower," you know.
Man.
Look up.
See you can go. And that, hey, bro, for real, man. I appreciate you sharing that with us, because a lot of people won't share it. I'm transparent with mine. Okay, I'm very transparent.
You gotta be, man. You gotta be to show the next person who's going through that same thing that there's hope. Because otherwise they might not, if they don't see an example or somebody to look up to, they don't believe it's possible to come out of that dark space or come out of that hole that they're in. So that's why I don't have, I mean, again, that's my past. It's called that for a reason. It's behind me, but I definitely keep it, in my forefront and let people know that, man, it's not where you came from, or it's not what you lost or whatever, but what's yet to come for you. So
exactly. Yeah. And see, everybody on that's basically on this panel, these entrepreneurs,
bootstrap.
Everybody
pull yourself up out of them bootstrap and get it done. Yep.
Everybody here is from Gary. Okay, may have moved on to other places and this and that, but from Gary. I didn't see my little brother Chris, for 15 years. Chris used to work at the casino in Gary. I forgot which one, Jessica, I think it was, Trump, whichever. And we used to talk. I've told this story almost now. We used to talk. I used to go there. He was my dealer. Okay, I had known him before, but he was my dealer, taking all my loot. I was doing my TV show. TV show was going great. No problem. So I'm sitting up there spending that money. But we talking. Okay, we're talking. And he asked me a question one day about something, and I just told him, I said, "Leave then, dude." And when I said that, I didn't know he was going to be gone 15 years. All right, I hadn't seen him for 15 years, and when I finally reconnected with him, he's doing all of these things. He's done music. He's done music. He's had a record label. He's had a variety radio show and television show, and now he's trying to put together an NBA franchise team with. And here's the other part about it, and I'm gonna say this again, Chris. I don't care what nobody says. You know me. This is what I do. People see, they don't understand the dynamic that this family has, Dwayne. Okay, this family of people that we have here. People don't see Chris on here all the time. He's working. He's busy. Okay, just like you. You took a moment to give us, a couple hours of your time. Great. Okay, but you don't have this time all the time. Okay, you can't pop on here anytime you get ready. You don't have that time. They see the fact that Chris don't be on here sometime, and you'd be surprised at the inboxes go, "What did you say to Chris to make him mad?" Okay, how come he ain't on there today? Okay, what you do? What he say?
For real, Greg?
Yes, and I'm like, we cool. Everything is good. He don't have to be on here. Marcy don't have to be on here every day. Suzette doesn't have to be on here every day. Nobody has to be on here every day. Okay, because we're family, and we know that we have each other's back. Okay, but the negativity, and I'm quite sure you've dealt with the negativity quite a bit in your professions, but the negativity, a lot of people let that defeat them. Okay, how do you steer away from the negativity, the naysayers, the haters? How do you steer away from them?
Man, I just look at it as all of that as a compliment, because if the great people is the ones that get hated on. The Michael Jordan, the LeBron James. I'm a big Bulls fan. I ain't had nobody hating on Dickie Simpson. You know what I'm saying? He was at the bottom of the bench. Nobody was hating on him. They was hating on the top guy. I mean, so just take it as a compliment.
Right.
They only hate on the great ones. And don't listen to the naysayers. I mean, because you go always have that. Don't nobody have no control over your destiny other than you. So the naysayers, you just shun off, and the haters you just appreciate, because they'll let you know that you're doing something right.
And that's the thing. In this entertainment field, man, I embrace the haters because They are. Oh, did I say hey, Suzette? Everybody say hello to Suzette.
Hey, Suzette, she's been on an hour.
Okay. As
saying it was like she's been on here for like 7 minutes already.
well, it's the quietest she's ever been. But I'm joking, Suzette. I'm joking. I love you.
I did have something.
As I was saying, Dwayne, and I'm gonna let you comment, Suzette. As I was saying, Dwayne, I mean, it's like
Yeah.
in the entertainment business, man. If you get these negative comments, they're still watching. So they still add to your numbers.
Absolutely.
Still adding to the numbers.
You relevant. Absolutely.
Exactly. I'm gonna watch him tomorrow and see how much you fuck up then. Okay, you know, and okay, cool. Watch me, and I'm gonna do it just for you. I'm gonna mess up just for you, so you can watch tomorrow too. All right.
Yeah.
So, do you want to say anything to Mr. Dwayne Rancifer?
Yeah, I do. You know, I two things I'm gonna say. You know, about my haters. I have to reflect back to what Cat Williams said about a hater. He said a hater got a job to do. He gonna do his job and he do his job well.
Right.
Job. At the beginning of the day, if you got 4 haters, your job is to make that number 24 by the end of the day.
You right.
That's right.
You right.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
But in your struggle, we're talking about Les Brown said, as long as you can look up, get up.
Absolutely.
That's word.
Well, you know, my motto on haters is my haters are nothing but fans that don't know how to show that they like you.
Right.
That's it.
They know everything about you. They just don't know how to show that they like you.
They fans.
They support you.
They fans. That's why they can't stay away.
They're fans.
So definitely.
Haters are nothing but fans in disguise.
Right. That's number fans.
Well, hey, fans that are in disguise. Yeah, he is. I love him.
What you doing? I'm so proud of you, man. I was like, look, I had never introduced anybody to be featured from East Chicago until, you know, this is my brother-in-law. I told you I'm married to his brother.
Yeah.
And he's had this platform, and I was just like, you was the first person that came to my mind. I'm so proud of you, and you know, it's few other people from the crib. You know, I'm thinking about. We'll collaborate on that. We'll talk about it. But I definitely want to feature Ty Williams. You know, she been through a lot. She got a book too. So we'll get to that later, Greg. I inbox you on that.
Yeah, but today it's about what you did for us.
But yeah, Dwayne is doing amazing in our community.
I appreciate that.
I've been knowing him. Yeah, that's my boy.
And that's
you know, you like I said, we lose touch over the years, but I'm still.
And I think I finally figured out where I seen you before. It was the
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
It had to be. It had
I'm
to
a fan, bro.
With that one.
Man, I spent probably like a total of 3-4 years in the village.
I bought many pairs of shoes.
My best years were in the village.
Yeah, I know. When Foot Locker was there. Latasha was there.
Yeah.
That's how I remember all of them.
Yeah.
I worked at the bank in the village.
In what year?
Do you remember the names of the people you worked with, Sus?
It was the Chase.
I ain't gonna keep saying that because everybody don't know. I'm sorry. I don't want to call you.
Chris just said them.
I ain't want to keep calling you.
I was there and also,
I'm sorry. People you work with there.
One of my greatest business lessons came in the city of Gary, which was the R&R. The R&R bar on the old Diamond Center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I thought you were going to say your biggest lesson.
He had that too. That was him. He had that. He had about that. Go ahead. Elaborate.
I thought you was going to say your biggest lesson from Gary was the stop, drop, and roll when you hit them gunshots, man. But it's all good.
Man, Gary's been nice to me, man.
Hey, look. That's the same thing with East Chicago, Guthrie.
It was worse than East Chicago.
Man, Guthrie.
Hey, look, Dwayne. The
Derby.
You playing for real? Hey, look, the Derby.
For real.
The Derby was the spot the Derby was the spot, but you was playing with your life if you wasn't from East Chicago.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
If you wasn't from East
You didn't know.
Chicago and you went to the Derby or the Crystal Palace, you better check
Crystal
and
Palace.
see.
Crystal
You-
Palace.
I remember the Crystal
But,
Palace.
or
I knew the
if
owner.
you didn't know, or if you didn't know anybody over in
Don't
that
forget
area,
about the
you
Blue Max.
you was playing with your life.
Come on, man.
That's
We
true.
had-
That's
I
definitely
was
true.
glad.
But we
at
had
that
the
time.
spots, though.
I was glad at that time. I
See, baby. Please believe.
had a little TV show.
Man, look.
So Chicago, I was still cool. You know what I mean? They knew me, but you know I had to have my boys with me. I had to have them with me still. It's always good.
Even playback, baby. They still don't play. They a different generation. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, this generation now, man. Woo, boy, this
But I mean,
generation.
you know, one thing
Oh,
we gotta
different.
take. One thing we gotta take for this generation, we gotta realize that this generation of people that's doing what they're doing in Gary, Chicago, and all those places are not from there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of
They're
them
from the other side. They're from the other side of the border.
Right.
Yeah, it's
They're
not
over there northwest.
So they don't
infiltrating
have
the can. They
don't have the
infiltrate.
same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't have the same. They don't have the same 219 roots that we had growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's a whole different ball game right
Cause
now.
we had rules for sure.
It's a whole different ball game out there now. But you know, one real quick question for you, Dwayne, okay? And that the conversation that we're just having about the youngsters now as opposed to the youngsters then, okay? What's the vast difference that you see, and how can we get them to become entrepreneurs? You know, have that entrepreneurial spirit.
You got to get with them early, man. Like, I think that's the biggest thing. You got to get with them at an early age because that's when they're molded the most. You know, it's hard to when they get to high school or, you know,
in junior high.
And you got to get to them early, man. It just kind of they got to know because it's, you know, I'm also, you know, I haven't done it in a while. Shame on me, but I also like to mentor to the, you know, to the kids, and I've done that in the past, and I think that's a huge, you know, thing to do. I mean, get involved and again be that role model.
And you know what? Something that is in your book that you mentioned about the kid with the candy, and you bought all of it.
Right.
And on that part, I just read the samples that were on Amazon. But now, when kids are in school and they're supposed to sell candy, and what is that? The Boy Scouts, the popcorn, the Girl Scout cookies. It's different back in our days when we went door to door because we knew all the people in the neighborhood and we asked if we were out there actually as entrepreneurs ourselves. Now, all the kid does is come home with the order form and they hand it to their parents. And the parents take it to work and to the family. And the kids get, you know, so they're not learning. That's the beginning of the entrepreneurship of, you know, just learning to get out there and hustle for yourself. But now parents are just taking over. Yeah, the parents are now taking over. And when because now I do see lately out here, a lot of.
I don't know.
Pardon me? Oh, I thought you were saying something, Patty.
No, I was saying, you know, comedian, it's like we are some punk ass parents now because we doing everything for our kids. Where back then we had to do it. Like our daddy was like, go get it.
Right.
You know, and it's not the
fun to go out. Yeah,
really
but
right. We had to.
But you know what though?
So I
you think about.
I ain't mean to cut you off, Miss Marcel.
Oh, that's okay.
Think about this though, I'm probably saying this wrong, but I think you might know what I'm talking about. You know, these cats is out here slinging drugs and stuff. They're salesmen. They need to be able to see the skills that they have and apply them the right way.
They have big businesses. I've talked to gang members and things. I have some in my family.
They have the entrepreneurial spirit is in all of them because all of them are hustlers and they all want to sell what they got. You gotta be guys.
I need to call Uji Greg. I need to tell Uji come in.
you know what it is?
What?
It's what I said earlier. It's a generational reoccurrence because they saw the people before them do it, and then the people before them do it, and then the people before them do it, but they don't click.
Yeah.
Like only thing they've seen from the situation is the big guy on the block get caught up and do time. They don't see the big guy on the block that gets out the game, starts his own business, and moves forward.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They don't see those. Only thing they do, because like anybody knows when you get in the game, anytime everybody knows when you get in the game like that, you get in to get out. You don't get in to stay.
Yeah, but it's hard to get out sometimes once you get in.
Yeah, and it's hard to get out. It's hard to get out because there's so much money that you're making.
Right, and see, like I said, the hustler's already within them because we come from a people that had to make do and had struggle and had to find a way, and that's where
they had to. Yes, generationally, absolutely.
They just need to have redirected. That's what I'm looking for. They need
to. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, especially the newer.
I think that's where our generation as parents. I think our generation as parents dropped the ball on that guidance part. You know what I'm saying? I think that even though we trying to parent and we want to make sure our kids don't have to go through what we went through, but some of us, I'm not gonna say everybody, dropped the ball on the guidance part of get this money, but do what you're supposed to do to make your family okay.
But the media also has a lot to do with that. The media has a lot to do with that as well.
Buy, like and rims and all that, like that's true. You're right. I mean,
but then you have the media and you have the videos out there. And children, they're watching all these videos. They're watching these videos with all this, hey, I'm making money, I'm slanging, I'm doing this, and the little girls are sitting up here, I want to be a dancer on a video. Look at this big house.
Let me tell you this.
Look at all these
things. Hold on. One at a time.
I'm sorry. My daughter is 13 and she's never heard a Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion song. So generationally, I'm trying to pick up because I'm not having it.
But what some of our youth don't realize is they're renting these cars and they're renting these houses for videos, and it does not belong to them. But they're looking at when they're hearing these words and all of this out here, they're thinking, oh, this is something I can, get into.
And we try to portray that and live up to that lifestyle that they don't even have. But they don't really have that lifestyle.
The millionaires that I know, they wear jeans and t-shirts and baseball hats. You cannot tell the ones that I know personally. If you were to see them, you would not know that they were millionaires.
My everyday outfit consists of cargo shorts and a boot shirt. And during the winter is cargo pants.
You better go.
And a boot shirt. So I mean, but that's a whole nother thing because I don't even want to spend time trying to figure out. But the Mark Zuckerberg, that's what they wear: the t-shirt and jeans every day. They not trying to, if you seen, they showed a picture of Jay-Z when he first started versus where he at now.
He looked the
because
same.
Once you acquire that, you're not trying to show people that
be flash. And that's what our youth don't understand. That's why they're buying all these designer clothes with somebody else's name. With someone else's name, they want all these designer clothes and all this jewelry and all this stuff, and to try to make it seem like they have something. They don't have what they ought to be in. And but they're out here trying to spend all this money that they don't have. I tell some of these little young girls when they're, I'm wearing this, I'm wearing this. I said, why don't you either go to school or learn how to sew and learn how to design and put your name on something versus wearing someone else's name. Wear your own name.
Yeah.
And I try to tell these little kids, okay, there was one young man, he played football for the high school. He and his family, I'm going to NFL. I'm going to NFL. And I looked at him and I said, hey, it was my granddaughter's boyfriend. I said, what if for some reason something happened to you and you can no longer play football? I said, get your education. So he did go on a football scholarship. And now my baby got hurt twice. He can't play any type of ball. But bless God, he is going to go ahead and stay in school. And he's going to go ahead and get his education. because I always tell these athletes who are, I'm going pro. Something can happen to you just like this. Get your education or have something to fall back on.
Yeah, and even if something don't happen to them, say you make pro, but the lifespan of a pro athlete, you retire at 26, 27 years old.
Have
now
something to
what you
fall
gonna
back
do
on
for the rest of your life?
And that's what I say.
40 more years of quote unquote
That's
work
right.
ahead. Now what?
Right.
And
Do
if
you know
all
how to
you
invest
had-
that money? Do you know how to invest that money that you're making?
Exactly.
It might
Now
be a
what?
few years. How are you going to invest that money? Or are you going to go out here and buy all these billion-dollar homes and all these cars and you know, just throwing money out there? What are you going to do?
Yep.
You have to know,
Unnecessary shit.
you know how to manage your money.
Invest.
Keep the gold
Live
diggers
it.
away and all the above.
But you know what?
What?
What's his name?
Right.
With the
That's
gap,
right.
Michael Strahan has turned his opportunity into some real business. Michael Strahan and millionaires always make money more than one way. Michael Strahan, after he finished playing, he's hosted on TV, game shows. He got a clothing line. He's got a cookbook. You know, you have to keep reinventing yourself to do things.
Right. You don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right. And I'm sure, but you know, but see, it was
That's right.
just to be a football player. You have to make that something else. He's a sportscaster too. So you know,
Right.
same thing with Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey is just like a Jamaican. He got 15 things he do. And
look at Rihanna.
Huh?
Look at Rihanna. She's now a billionaire.
Oh, I'm so proud of her.
So here we go, y'all. This is we at the end of the show. Okay, I just
You saw that?
But I want to, Dwayne. I want to.
Is it time already, Greg?
I want to thank you for coming through, man. Thank
you for having me.
That watch back on, man. Okay, is there anything that you want to say to the people, real quick?
You gotta put me on the spot. I mean, just keep going after your dream and don't let no obstacles or don't let no setbacks or failure stop you. Just again, you know, I've heard it a couple times doing the show. Just reinvent yourself. You know, if you have any setbacks, but man, keep pushing and learn from every opportunity that you go through in life and everything that you go through, and just keep pushing.
Chris, last word, bro.
I got the topic for tomorrow. We'll talk about it when we get off here.
All right, cool. I got one more thing for you, Dwayne. One more thing. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Randy Watson.
Oh,
That boy is good. Good and terrible.
I appreciate that, man. Probably my best movie. I love that movie, man. I love that.
Hey, look.
Good and terrible.
Hey, at least you cut it off at the right time, though. It ain't got the good and terrible part.
Yeah, good and terrible.
I gotta edit a little better, man. But you know, it's all good. Lanita says, everyone in Northwest Indiana, be safe. There are power outages, okay?
Let me hear.
There is no power outage here on this show.
Another time, maybe we could discuss more about his book, and I have another author that I would like to bring on at some point, Gina.
Well, Patty, you didn't let us. You kept interrupting.
I'm sorry. Listen, look, I didn't interrupt as much as Uji be doing, but listen. So,
right,
I get to run in the marriage family, okay?
You know, and I'll link you and Gina and Dwayne. Keep doing your thing, brother.
Thank you. Much love. Appreciate it.
What's up, man? Hey, we appreciate you coming through, brother. You're a shining example, okay, of if you stick to it. If you build it, it's gonna happen, okay? So, hey, on behalf of everybody here, Suzette, Patty, thank you so much, sis. Gina, Chris, myself, I'm Greg Gray. This is DopelivenTV Live. We will see you guys.
Power to the people on behalf of my baby.
Hey,
to the people.
Don't log off. Everybody stay on.
Everybody stay on, okay? But
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I'll ask.
Don't just sit back and don't
do
nothing. Do nothing.
Okay.
Chill out. Hold on. Dwayne, you can put your watch back on, but hold on for a second, all right? All right, it's DopelivenTV Live, everybody. Yeah.